Welcome everyone to the second day of the EU Pro Wingman Series 9 here at the GLL. I want to say GLL Studios, but it's EMEA Studios, and we get the pleasure of using it. We're ready for 6 games of Miramar today. We've done and dusted Sanhok, and now it's it's this way. Not over to you. Yeah, you get the Sanhok team, Stace. I'm Toby. This is Hayes. We got Sane now back as well, and we've got 6 games, as I said, of Miramar coming in. We'll take a look at the schedule in just a moment, but let's just round off those Sanhok games real quick, because there were some interesting things happening. James did something pretty interesting.
He did a little thing. It was pretty entertaining. Yeah, you know, a few kills there and a win. As a solo.
Yeah,
from 50 players alive.
Goes to show that solos in duos can do amazing, and especially when we see solos at the level we have here. I mean, on Miramar we saw in the NA side of things. So on Sanhok, Sonic's Black, Tickles, and Keenan had 3 wins in a row. On Sanhok, so I'm looking forward to see them later tonight, what they can pull off on Miramar. Yeah,
it's insane to see the kind of level of players that come out of here, and the level of teams and players that we kind of see, and I'm kind of curious to see what's your thoughts on how it's going to play on Miramar. Obviously, we saw the opens yesterday. What do you think it's going to? Do you think it's going to change coming over from the opens to the pros?
You know what? I will answer your question in just a moment, because before that, I want to take a look at the schedule. I am very, very curious to see these games coming in today. And as you can see, Sanhok is out of the way. Day 1 is over and done. And now it's all about Miramar. And then 4 days from now, we're going to head on over to Erangel for the final 6 games before we figure out which 16 teams will make it to the finals. Miramar, 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 Miramar. And if you're one of those that's going to stay with us all night, it's going to be 12 games of Miramar if you combine both even and NA. Plenty of desert action coming your way.
There's a prize pool as well. Obviously, first place brings home $20,000. I said pounds, that was close.
That's even more money.
So yeah, that's a hell of a lot more money, actually.
Yeah.
Second place, obviously 10, and then it goes all the way down to $150 at the bottom there. Yeah. So this is the league winnings. Now, I'll leave you to explain that one.
No, it's pretty simple. I mean, we used to have it so that you just go from the group stage straight to the finals. The teams that were in the top were kind of, we've kind of already qualified. We don't really need to do anything, because bottom 16, I mean, if you're in first or second place, who cares? So you can kind of chill on the last day, but now that they've added this little extra earning from the league, like from the group stage, it means that the top 3 teams, as you can see here, $3K, $1,500, and $500, will, I mean, these top 5 teams will get a little extra money to put in their pocket coming into the final stage. This point system, of course, if you've been following the Wingman series before, it's the same we've been using, I believe, for if not the entire thing, then at least for the last like 4 or 5 seasons. So you would be used to that 1 point per kill, 13th place and downward, 0 placement points. And we saw yesterday, because on Miramar, it's teams tend to stay alive for longer on Miramar, unless if you're in a open, because they just all died early game.
Yeah, that was strange.
But believe me, teams can go through absurd circle shifts, like spooky as hell rotations, have to fight through multiple teams, go down in like circle 7 and go away 14th place. Are you kidding me? Not get any placement points off of it.
Yeah,
so
literally 0. But I mean, we keep saying there's so many more points in terms of kills, but then again, like teams keep going for these placements. I'm like, what? Come on, guys! Like, you know, get out there, get some kills, shoot some heads. You know, but like, I
mean, we saw it with Menox, and we saw. I want to use Menox and James as the 2 primary examples here, because when they lost teammates early, they would still play aggressive. Yeah. You can I mean, it's difficult to be 1 player faking to be 4.
Yeah.
But it's pretty easy to be 1 player faking to be 2, because if 1 player goes super aggressive, the team getting shot at will automatically think, that guy would not have done this if it's not because he had a teammate covering him from somewhere. Then they get scared, not only looking at the guy shooting at them, but trying to find the second guy too. And that's kind of that little time gap of, it could just be a couple of seconds, where while they look for the second player, he just wrecks them because, well, he knows there isn't the second guy.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. That kind of makes sense to me in terms of, like, if I was in game and there's 1 player peeking up and he's being really aggressive, you don't want to, like, push that, because you have no idea if it's a solo. There could be someone flanking on the, down on the right. I mean, for example, on Sanhok, like, there's so many hills. If you're on top of a hill, there could be a player down below flanking around, and you just don't know these situations, and it's definitely true in duos. Squads, it's a different sort of thing altogether, I feel.
Yeah, and to go back to what you were talking about, how things will change from Sanhok over to Miramar, I want to see teams. I mean, of course, it depends a lot on where we go on the map. There are some areas that are just brutally open, and how much you want to imagine that you're two people, you will very easily be seen to only be one one person. But I want to see some of these teams that went for positions just go kill. I think all the way, I mean, I've never seen a team after one game on the right side of the leaderboard, so button 16, I've never in all of this seen a team with 3 or more kills. I think I've seen one time where 17th place got 3 kills.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's always been 0 or 1, sometimes 2, but it's pretty much always been 0 or 1 kill, which means that if you can get it, no matter the placements, if you can get 3 kills, you're automatically in the top half.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get 3 kills each game, or at least 3 points somehow, somewhere, then you can qualify to the next round.
Exactly. But let's take a look at the leaderboard to see exactly how these teams have fared over on Sanhok. Liquid, despite Ibiza never really getting to fire off a lot of bullets, they actually sit in first place. And commanding the zone, well, over the 6 games, 12 of them, like 12 of their 22 kills came in one game from one player. So they're sitting pretty decently up there. And then you can see if we do the math here and divide it by 6, I mean, down in the bottom, it is like we're talking under 3 kills per, under 3 points per game.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you see the kills as well. The kills are massively above the placement points. Even professional gamers number 3, they're 25 kills and only 9 placement points.
Yeah, that's Fex. He started pooping heads. Oh, I don't think he pooped heads. You pop heads.
Yeah, that's
I think he popped heads more than he pooped heads. And AHGKL in the bottom, it's not that they were doing really bad, they just weren't there during the first week. So maybe some of Istanbul Wildcats, some of these teams that have had a tough time getting things going. I remember seeing Molman, Stella, and Jord. He was like, you know what, let's just forget about Sanhok. Now it's Miramar. Now we can try and turn things around. And I think that's how a lot of teams felt. Saint Pete was saying that it's kind of the Joker map where you can, I mean, I guess you can say you can afford to do bad because, again, it's unless if you want to get into the top 3 prize pool, it's just about getting top 16.
Yeah, but then you have to be really good on the other maps, right? Because then you're like a massive deficit compared to teams like Team Liquid and Fex and Jazza. They're all the way up there, and you're at a pretty big disadvantage. So you've got even more to sort of climb to get even anywhere near them. So you've got to be really good at Erangel and Miramar if you want to say like Sanhok's a throwaway map and it's just like we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
I mean, you saw I think it was 16th place had 17 points.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, Tickleton's team had 60-something points.
I think it was 70.
Just think about it.
5 or something.
It's absurd. That alone is absurd. But also think about, I mean, that's essentially that 17th, like 17 points, 16th place. That's 1 win with 7 kills. I mean, it's very doable. Even if you're sitting like if the AH team way down the bottom that didn't play play on Sanhok, if they come off with 2 top 5 placements and some kills, they're gonna see themselves right up there.
Yeah, I wonder if they're even here. I'm not exactly sure.
I am not sure
part of that team.
I am not sure either. But we'll wait and find out. We'll wait and see. We'll let the game determine that. We are going to start the games in just a moment, so it's not just us sitting here and talking. Well, we will be sitting here and talking, but you'll get to see some PUBG as well. Of course,
Start the game.
Start the game already.
Stop talking.
Yeah. Could you imagine casting without having to talk?
How would that work?
I don't know.
Okay, like,
it's just every time I'm seeing Twitch that they go, "Oh, stop talking." It's like, then what are we supposed to do?
Just stare at the camera.
That would make for some awkward awkward footage. But nonetheless, it is Miramar, and I think one of the main takeaways we like to compare solos, duos, and squads. I mean, control.
Yes.
Miramar is all about control. You want to both have a compound where you have some hard cover to go to, and you also want to have the high ground with some vision. We've seen duos try and commit one to each.
Yeah.
More often than not, they have not succeeded. like one of them will have been pushed and killed, and there's just nothing the other guy can do. So would you stay together or split on Miramar?
I think honestly you stay together. I don't think there's any point on Miramar in splitting and risking that, you know, just getting picked off, because these guys will hit their shots, and if you stand still for a second to scout a compound,
Boink.
you're getting double headshot, and that's you down and out, and then you've left your teammate in a pretty awful spot. But yeah, as you say with the control as well, like I think a lot of these players are used to playing squads, and they might not be used to playing in this situation where they can't take as much control as they're used to in their general team. So we might see some mistakes in the first part, but then maybe towards the end of the day we start to see them kind of get to grips with how they should play it.
Also bolts. We didn't see a whole lot of bolts in the open league yesterday, but I have faith there's some players. I mean, I know there will be some in the NA side of things, but also in the EU. I think. Do you think, on a scale from like, if we could just line up the loot from all the teams coming into Circle 4, where we can assume that everyone's kind of had a chance to pick the weapon they wanted. Yeah. How many teams have bolt actions on their team out of 32 players, or 32 teams?
In EU, I want to say probably 3.
I was going to say 5, but okay. Yeah, 3 to 5. That makes sense to me.
Miramar is slightly different. I think if it was obviously if it was Sanok, it'd be totally different. If it was Miramar, Erangel, it might be.
I think it's more on Erangel than on Miramar.
No. I think it's more on Miramar.
On Miramar, okay, that was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And then I guess the last point of discussion coming into this first game, and we're just talking broad terms now. It's not necessarily specific to this. It's just in general duos, Miramar, rotations, because that's what we saw in the open league yesterday, mainly on the NA side of things. Yeah. We had 2 games where I don't want to count it up today, because now we start with a few. Like there's only 27 teams on the server here. We had 2 games where we had under 22 players alive in phase 4.
Yeah.
How? That's like less than basic games, public games. Yeah. I want to know. How will that go with the pro teams here now?
I mean, these guys are used to rotating. You know, they're used to these hard shifts, aren't they?
So but you have to think differently when you go duo rotating and then squad rotating.
I don't think so, actually.
No.
Oh, yeah. I think it's depends on the shift, but I think if there's some sort of hard shift, then you can kind of guarantee that the other side of the circle, the way that's hard shifted too, is going to be pretty empty. True. Especially on sort of second and third circle. After that, you might want to think about not long rotating.
Yeah. With that in mind, we actually haven't seen a whole lot of long rotations. But I guess we might. Today we are starting the first match of the day number 2 out of 3 of the group stages here at the GLL Wingman Pro Season 9. Or Season 9 Pro. Series 9 Pro, I guess. Yeah. In any case, it started. And we've taken to the battlefield. It's a decent plane. I guess this is as fair a plane as you could expect for a first game of the day.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard plane. No one's too worried about it, I don't think. I see N47 going for a different spot than I would expect, but
yeah.
Then again, I think they would. You
would want them to stick to Valle all the way down.
I'd say either Valle or Puerto, but then again, like Puerto's pretty far, so.
See, they jumped away, and they were like, wait.
Oh yeah.
This is a nice reaction play actually, because teams would jump out of the plane and look towards where they're going. But Ival and Paige both jump out of the plane, and then when they look behind them, wait, everybody that jumped out with us early disengaged from El Azhar. And now they just did a 180 midair and realized that entire city was free. So really nice reaction play to get to go to loot the city rather than have to split loot somewhere on the edges.
Yeah, it makes sense. It looks like Reels is AFK or something. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's just north of Valle del Mar, so not exactly sure what his plan is. But we'll see if he can get back from making his cup of tea.
Yep. Oh, that's it, of course. Making his cup of tea. Footballist, the brothers in arms, Iro and Voyokai, have spotted Rax, and I'm on the eastern side of Impala. And I'm sitting and looking around for teams that loot the same players here that they would in competitive play. We see Croaker out there up in El Pozo. Actually, wow, okay, so James and Ibiza, they've got Picardo all to themselves. That's a little surprising to me. We got Lust down towards Chumacera. He's playing with Misa, and they're making their way over towards, well, it's not really Los Leones, but they're just sort of outskirts in between Chuma and Lost, and then Race Your Edge. They're far west this time around. No one's actually inside Montenuevo.
No, and I think the First rotation from Mise is quite good because obviously the playing path they realized it was pretty far from Los Leones or south of Los Leones, and the circle pops south, and it makes sense that he would essentially just go straight for a compound somewhere center because he knows that there's gonna be nobody there and there's free loot. So I think that's a solid first move for him.
Makes sense. Now the first circle has, as you can see, shown itself, and it's always a little difficult when you have a big city like Los Leones in the very center, because it means that most teams who would normally try and get a center position probably won't. I mean, it's not that it's not possible. It's just teams really dislike being inside the city in the beginning of the game, or at any stage of the game, to be fair. And I'm looking to see a lot of these teams that would normally go center maybe stick around on the edges a bit more.
Yeah, I want to say that you could be right, but I think if they would go center a lot more, it would essentially leave them without any fights on the edge, which
True.
Like edge fighting in duos gives you so many issues. Really, it's too many issues to even think about really.
Intense commits to the vehicle play rather than try and jump out and take the fight to Truggy. His vehicle is on fire, but as you can see, still like a 1/3 of durability left remaining. So even though, and I was like, nope, he just runs away. If I get out of the car fast enough, maybe the observers didn't see it. We saw it, Intense, we saw it. No, the vehicles, I mean, back in the day, once the vehicle was on fire, it was like one bullet, and you exploded.
Yeah.
But now the fire animation, I guess you can say, does trigger a little early. I think it's around 40%. Like 35 or 40% durability in your vehicle. So just because it's on fire doesn't mean that the next bullet connected will blow it up. Even though we like to say, "Oh, it's on fire! Get out! Get out! Get out!" It's not always the case.
Yeah, it's a good sort of change, I think.
Oh yeah, same.
Sometimes you kind of panic and you try and jump out and it's too late already. You know? So it's nice that they changed that. See, Liquid have already moved from. Picado, they're going on the usual squad rotation. I know they do this one a lot, but they've gone sort of down dirt paths. So these new dirt paths that they've added in, well, not new, but a while ago, and they've taken residents just west of Los Leones.
Yeah, I mean, they, as you said, they play somewhat similar here to what they do when they play in the usual like full team squads, and they kind of did the same thing. If we think back towards Sanok, they were trying to get center early, and that paid off. But then the other teams that came to engage them, oftentimes, I mean, it was, I don't know why, but it was, for some reason, always Ibiza who ended up getting caught out. And I guess you could say that on Sanok, it's a little easier to sneak up on people, as opposed to them sitting in a center compound right now. I mean, if anyone wants to sneak up, that's going to be Desperados, and they're making the way in the direction. You can see it on the map here. Body popping. Wait, who's body popping? I don't know. Well, that's gotta be Calvin then, because he was playing with Ultra on Sanok. So unless if that's a sub, then I assume it's Calvin who just
Ultra
changed
has
his name.
Something pink. I forget his name, but it's I don't know.
Something pink?
I think Body Poppin might actually be Tomil. I know he likes to dance, so that could be something.
That is true.
Then the other
but Tomil, I mean, but Ultra and Calvin were playing on Sanok together.
Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely Calvin then.
that was my argument.
That makes
thinking
sense.
that it probably would be him. Yort taking some damage, able to stay alive though. Him and Mole Man have split on the western side, and this next circle shift, wherever it may go, could be really tough if teams keep trying to kind of bundle up on the western side of Los Leones. Because if it shifts east and teams don't want to go through it, these rotations that will try and come around, I mean, you might actually be better off just driving through the city, because first of all, you're going to be there faster. It's a more straight line. And also, let's see if Winky Pinky can get himself a kill on towards Chris. Does the damage. The vehicle is on fire. No kills yet, but now he's running into Mole Man. So I was just going to say he's going to run into Mole Man's M249. And if there's a vehicle that's good for blowing up vehicles, well, that's that one.
That's the perfect job for that. Iro as well.
Turkish square off.
Shooting up his previous teammates, it seems. Trellius as well, just taking some shots. Mert's got a heal as well. Looks like they want to go and try and push this.
Civil war going on in Turkey, and it's between DA and, well, I mean, half of footballers and half of TSM. They've decided to team up against Digital Athletics.
Yeah, the brothers in arms, as we know. Yeah, they're still peeking. They're still trying to go for it.
No fear. No fear at all. I like the idea of not just. I mean, there's a thing where if you take a peek towards someone and you get hit once, it's like, oh my God, gotta get away, gotta heal up, and it was like, dude, you're still at like 75 or 80% HP. You didn't have to look away because once the guy hits you once, that's also gone the other way. When you hit a guy once, you expect him to look away, so you kind of stop. And not stop focusing that much, but you know what I mean. Like you expect him to peek away, so the times they stay and keep shooting, that can actually be you getting caught off guard in that situation, despite you getting the first hit, and then you get taken down because of it.
Yeah, I think it's also because some players like to just hold the peak. They
Exactly.
They hold it and then they get tagged like 3 or 4 times and that's it.
Ooh. Tag twice. Does have the free gear tag 4 times. Moment does have the that's no.
A nade? All right, that's
If it can go that far.
No.
Someone of the observers forgot to put on the nade trajectory. There it was.
Oh, there it is.
We ain't gonna let him have it easy.
No,
when we see stuff like that. They keep trolling us with different things. So whenever the observers they make, it's not a mistake. But whenever they do something fun, we can say that too.
Yeah.
We don't have funny like logos and stuff to throw in their faces during the game. So someone should go and shake their chairs every now and again. Maybe we should hire one of the Satan has to run in there and try and give them jump scares every now and again. Molman, despite getting some level 3 gear, does go down. He did get a kill though, so that's something. Yort will have to play the rest of the game himself. Sane gone down as well. Nailip able to find a kill, and Reels is still out in the blue. Hasn't really moved yet.
Yeah, no, he hasn't moved 1 inch. Oh, actually, he's moving now. He's back. He's back.
He is
from his
back.
cup of tea making.
Oh, yeah, now he's running down the hill. There you go.
He's doing something.
Miles out in the blue, no loot. hopefully Vim he'll find a way to get inside the circle. Udyr has been spotted as well. Lost his teammate just before. Now let's see the circle. Oh my, wow. Okie dokie. Everyone's going to rotate around Las Leones down south. And remember, guys, next circle after this one doesn't have to exclude water either. So we could potentially be going even further down towards the beach.
Yeah, this is tough. You see a lot of teams trying to avoid Los Leones and rotate, from north to south around the city. But to be honest with you, it's fine to just go straight through. And like we talked about this, I think it was yesterday as well, right?
Yeah.
Just go straight through it because like no one holds this. No, like especially in these kind of lobbies, no one really wants inside Los Leones in the first circle. So what's the point? There's no info from there.
Liquid benefited with 2 bikes. They're going to be able to get there fast. I mean, I think they only get... I only think they beat Loss and Misa to that compound because they have bikes and Loss and Misa are kind of rolling around with the...
Oh,
no.
He's got no meds, has he?
Hopefully. I mean, he hadn't looted that building yet, so hopefully there's some meds. And 1 or 2 first aids should be enough to get him all the way to the circle. There's only phase 2 closing in, so... Should be alright, but we'll have to wait and... oh, is that meds on him? Oh, does yeah, that's a booster.
It's not gonna... No. It's not gonna happen.
Fracking and shacking, more like dying and crying.
Yeah, I mean, that works.
Misa does spot out Ultra. That's a flying vehicle. Can't really do a whole lot from there. And both, what we assume to be, Calvin and Ultra are eliminated.
That was a full send, I think. Just didn't really care if anyone was shooting him at all. Maybe he had his audio off or something. I'm not sure, but he couldn't do much about it. Oh, Micah though, he's pretty close.
Obviously heard the shots fired, and he lost Chris earlier in that vehicle rotation with the Mole Man finding the better of him. So maybe he has a level 3 helmet. Wait.
I think he got that from Mole
Oh,
Man.
he took it from Mole Man earlier.
He didn't get the vest because it was too...
yeah, he
damaged.
busted it pretty massively and hadn't taken any damage himself. Makes sense. Yord is still up north. Like, well, I guess I don't have a vehicle to go anywhere. I'm just gonna chill and hope something happens that gets the circle back towards me. He doesn't have the... What is it called? Uplink?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, the
that's
uplink to kind of force circles in different directions. Hopefully that's never a thing in anything but custom games.
Imagine.
Cold Mensa spotted out by Ibiza. They're pushing further down. I actually like this play from them. Oh, intense. That's a headshot. 2 great shots by Yord. Swapped over to his AR. That could have been scary, but does manage to get the knock and the flush.
Yep, solid stuff. Intense goes down.
So who's Winky Pinky then?
Yeah, Winky Pinky's...
that Tom Hill?
He's gonna... I think it is. Like, it must be if that's... if the other one is Calvin.
Was Noise Sim?
Oh.
Huh.
I don't actually
Stop
know.
changing your names, guys.
Yeah, please.
At least give us a list. Like, send us a DM what name you've changed. Those make things a bit confusing. Misa does but one going through. Silas. Oh, he's in the open. Yep, ain't gonna happen. Misa finds him. Able to get the flush as well. Now Gaxi trying to escape. Should be able to get away. Yeah, he's safe.
Yeah, that's a ballsy spray. Not gonna lie, but he does get away.
Oops.
Not to worry. He does get in the compound as well, actually. Oh no!
What are these circle shifts? It's like, oh, people came here. Whoop, let's go away from there. Southern hard shift followed by eastern hard shift, and look at the concentration of players towards the west right now. And the thing is, you can't even rotate around. Like what we normally talk about. How you could go, Mithrin could go in the water and try and like make a boat rotation down to Minox, but and I like what Truggy is doing here. You can see them going down to the shoreline, or down to the beach road now. That's a really smart play to avoid all the fighting.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Oh no!
I landed on.
Oh my lord!
Did you notice how there was no nature texture on that one either?
Come on, boys.
Cheated one. You know who you are. There it is.
There we go. Nate comes over.
Oh no! It followed him. One
Oh.
of these nades. First, Chris gets the one that just like kind of grinds like a skateboard along the rail of the container, and then then Fast Rail gets one more evil. So they also both of them had a rough day. Ooh, quick. Well, he was quick. He found a double kill on towards both James and Ibiza, but them going down. But Fast Rail and Chris, they had a really tough day on Sanox. So seeing them get something going, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't really see much of them on the Sunlight Games, you're right. So hopefully they can pick it up over here on their probably more favoured map compared to Sanok, I imagine.
I road did go down, and now Boyokai is alone against Shiv and Monkey. They have the house, and no, they're actually shooting away. I don't think they have any clue that he's there.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly, their attention is elsewhere. Mm-hmm. They're in a pretty good spot on the circle. Obviously, this next full circle can't hard shift south, so.
True.
It's you can go west, north, or east, but never south. And they're in a good spot to get the next one. But
now that you said it can't. In before.
Yeah.
Just for it shouldn't. I mean, it shouldn't happen. Let's put it that.
We've seen weirder things.
Yeah. Quick is he's chilling for now after getting those 2 kills. Probably getting looted up. Merge trying to run back to safety, down to low HP as well. Those managed to get away though, and this fight they're taking right now. I mean, yes, now they do run to the compound. I was gonna say there's not really any reason for you guys to try and take compound fights when you're not planning on pushing on them anyway, because you can get the knocks, but they'll just be inside the building and get rest anyway.
Ooh, Teme goes down. Crocrowd duo out in 22nd. That was who was that? That was somebody.
Nilos.
Oh yeah, Yanis is actually knocked as well.
Flash
No,
as well.
he's actually dead. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's strange how the icon just stays.
Yeah, it always stays for like a second or two afterwards.
But
one of those things.
Yeah, Nello's taking that one down. He's got to get in the circle though. He's got a lot of people in front of him as well, so
yes,
it's gonna be tough.
Yord?
Yeah, I was gonna say
he'll get there eventually. Yord is running. He'll get there if he stays alive for long enough. Might even get himself some placement points. And here in phase 4, what will be, we have 33 alive. Oh. One more tap should do it. Nail up stopping to heal. Guess that kind of makes sense. Circle hard shifts east again. These circles are... Oh my lord, that's a good headshot, Nail up. These circles are not giving these... welcome to Miramar, duos. This is where you get wrecked.
Yeah.
If not by opponents, then by the circle.
Double hard shift east means that everyone's pretty much... I mean, no one can long rotate now. Everyone's going to push themselves into that western side. It's going to be an absolute mess. And Menox and team, they're looking pretty good.
Yep. Boyo gets a knock on towards Shiv. Want to find Monkey as well. He's down to just under half HP. Oh, we can't see him. Does he spot him?
Way.
Yeah. He should be dying. He should be dead. Nope, he's actually resting. He's actually resting. It's like one tick rest coming in right now.
Yep.
Yord does go down to the blue. Phase 4 is where we up the damage by quite a margin, and somehow Shift just got back on his feet. This is like a full-on merry-go-round. They're just running while they're healing, trying to get away foot.
Yeah.
And they find him. Footballist, where Kai does go down. Skaters eliminated. And you can see the way that BSD and Chris's team, or like Fast Rail's team, is positioned. They don't intend to go further towards the center. So for all the teams that are trying to push in, they have to deal with them.
Yeah, exactly. They're kind of holding the south side, BSD and Genzo, and then X-Chris, Fast Rail. They're holding the edge, just trying to get as many kills as they can on on the western side, and I mean they have a big potential too as well, because there's such a big field just towards their west. It's yeah, it can prove to be pretty lucrative in terms of points. Uh-oh.
At this point, I don't think anyone but Lipson, I guess, really wants to rotate using vehicles. So doing those right rotations around the other side, kind of impossible. I mean, it's not impossible, but it is something that, first of all, is difficult to do, and second of all, very unlikely to see happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree with the Lipson play. He could have gone possibly a bit further and kind of gotten away from everyone else. So, obviously, we see everything, right? But
yeah,
he might not know that there might be someone that's in the compounds towards the eastern side. So he stopped in that spot and got punished because of it. But further.
Nope. Nate from forward. Vex, what a headshot. He is landing some beastly shots. Every time he's in a position where he's back up against the wall, somehow he oftentimes, at least more often than not, manages to find some damage, and Vex gets him. Does go down to Misa immediately after, but that's a placement point secured. He goes down on 12th instead of 13th. That is welcome to placement points, Vex.
Yeah, that's a 2-point kill right there.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly. I'm so surprised he actually got that kill. Just out in the open, with no way of really retaliating, and Mommy gets blasted, it seems.
And talking about how you want to go from like 3 kills per game, kind of as an average, if you want to be just exactly at the cutoff point, making it from a 1 to a 2-point game. I mean, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's solid. Nail up. He's in a bit of trouble here. He's got 2 fins at his doorstep, coming up the stairs, and doesn't do anything, actually.
He tried. He did not succeed. Is that Arnold? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's the one.
The TV show Arnold. Yeah, that's not at all what it sounds
exactly
like. But that's is that the one where they keep yelling at him in the trailer or the intro?
I think it is. Yeah,
I think it is. Arnold. Again, I'm gonna stop doing that now. Yeah. Circle? Well, why not? I mean, okay, it's not really a hard shift, but it does force the players out into the open field.
There's only 3 players in the circle now.
We have 17 alive in phase 5. We were giving the Americans such a hard time for how they couldn't stay alive. After 4 hard shifts in a row, I'm kind of feeling the vibe getting transferred over to EU now.
I think this is like a one on a kind sort of thing.
We'll see next game.
Yeah, we'll see if this happens next game. But
in all fairness, we also start with 11 players less.
Yeah, true.
So that is a little bit of a difference.
But Manox and 60, they're looking pretty solid. Looking to get some kills on the southern and southwestern side. Gaxi is just proning out, I think.
He's not in a hurry to go anywhere.
Nah, he's not going to move at all. Truckee and Co have a pretty solid route into the circle as well.
Mm-hmm.
And not they know it, but there's no one really north of them at all. So they have a free spot.
I do like NBS and Miracle's rotation as well. They decided to do what we said you couldn't do with a vehicle on foot, and just rotate really far up and around the northern side there.
Yeah, I like it. They've got a nice little sort of spread here. Just trying to get as much information as they can and see what's occurring, what's happening. They got a bike actually. So
that's nice. I didn't even notice that.
I
was just gonna say they want to get down this exact spot. They wanted to get down to where he is now before the circle was closed in and teams kind of get settled, because that's when they'll start looking around. And fortunately they managed to do so. Get themselves the compound, or I guess the warehouse on the eastern or northeastern side. They're going to be sitting pretty damn well in it. They have essentially 65% of the circle all to themselves.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy sort of concentration of players on the southwestern side, and I mean
all the players are there.
Yeah, but I mean it makes sense because of all the hard shifts.
Yes.
It's just that's just how the game goes sometimes.
Sure is. Misa and Lost HD found themselves 7 kills combined so far. They know that Chris is around somewhere.
Did you not see him? Oh, there we go. Yep, spots him.
Yep, eyes are there. Fastrell's hiding. He's behind Lost, though. The flanker gets flanked. Lost goes down. So trading 1 for 1, and actually, nope, you can see Chris isn't flush yet, but this was what alerted now the Frenchman to come engage in the fight.
Yep, shots come out. Actually, Monkey chiming in here. Takes down Mise. And Fastrell, his teammate's not dead yet. He gets Shiv. Monkey returns. 62 HP now. Oh, he gets tagged up from MBS.
That's it. That's from afar. They're shooting across the map and down to 1 HP. How many times, guys, please take note of it, do we see people go down to 1 HP? Me and Saint talked about it yesterday, too, in one of the final games. 1 HP is the thing. 2 HP, 3 HP, never happens. It's always down to 1 HP. Fastrell does go down. Monkey able to find the kill. Level 3 vest prevails, and so does the AOG.
Solid stuff. The AUG's it's strange gun. Like some people don't like it. Some don't even switch it out for the M4.
I don't.
I'm kind of curious. I usually do. I take it because it's different, and I like to
Yeah.
just switch it up a bit. But
Also, it's cool to have a crate weapon, you know?
yeah, exactly. People hear it, they're like, oh, okay.
Oh no, an
he's
AOG, it must be a good player. And then it just stays.
exactly.
Mythralius and Mert have been lurking on the southeastern side for a while and haven't really found the first kill yet, but they have secured their way into placement points at least, so that's something. And we'll see if Trocky and Witty can hold them off. Or is it Wi-Fi? If it's Wi-Fi, you know?
Witty.
I would say Witty, but it's Wi-Fi because, like, look at the way you spell Wi-Fi.
I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
I think we're just guessing at the moment. I think.
Yeah.
Shots come out. BSD. Monkey's in a whole world of trouble here. Does return on one shot at least two. That's a whole lot of tags from Monkey just out in the open. BSD needs to hit one more shot, but just can't quite do it.
Small things, but I did not really like the way that BSD was peeking that angle. Like, he has an entire ridgeline to run up and down, and he kept peeking out the exact same spot, and that pretty much allowed for for Monkey to just, like, left lane, right lane, peek, and shoot at the exact same one spot where BSD actually had a chance to move around a little.
Yeah, exactly. Galaxy sneaking up on towards Menox. Menox's compound here. I don't think he wants to fight this really. If he has to, he will for sure. We know Galaxy.
Yeah.
We know what he's like, so he doesn't mind a fight or two. But Monkey getting really aggressive on BSD. He has the York still.
Oh,
does tag the headshot up, but he's getting shot from the north, so it's looking rough for him.
Oh, he actually does. No, it's not even him. It's MBS getting knocked on the backside, and he does the kill. BSD able to take him down. Probably should go over and take the level 3 helmet. Now that he's there.
I mean, I think he headshot it though. I'm not exactly sure how much health I had left there.
He's never trade down a helmet, no matter the durability.
I know. I'm just saying,
But it is true. He probably did headshot him a couple of times. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe it was gone. I like the way that that Ratio has decided to split out. Minox has pretty much one of the only houses that are left in the circle, and 60 is sitting a bit further up to make sure that they don't get pinned inside if they had both been there. So he's like the guard dog outside the VIP's house,
Yeah. But I also think it might be an issue as well, because obviously Galaxy snuck up upon it just below. He's not going to try and take the house.
Yeah.
But if there was a duo that wanted to have some hard cover, and then there's only Menox inside, it's an easy take. Well, it should be anyway.
Ooh, that's an interesting circle shift. Both DA and N1 over on the eastern side will have to move down. Seems like NBS is going to be able to get the rest on towards Miracle. Yep, he's back up on his feet, and they did have a vehicle earlier, but I think that's got to be in the blue now. I didn't see them bring them into the circle.
No, I don't think. I think they left them at the warehouse just towards their Easter. But the circle does shift over towards Razor Edge's duo and Galaxy and BSD. So everyone on the eastern side, they've got to push in D8 and then the N1 team. We'll see if I think they're aware of each other anyway. It seems so. Seems to be very very aware of what's north anyway.
Mert trying to push further forward. They don't only want to go inside the circle. We can see how they're kind of running alongside the edge of the circle. They know that N1 has to get in. And right now, Mythralis is shooting and forcing them to wrap around the other way. That's why Mert is pushing up, trying to get into a better position. But actually, the NIP squad on the northern side there, they might be running into each other, all three of them.
Yeah, they're pushing them pretty aggressively. I think they're taking the sort of the chance where whilst everyone's shooting towards their east, they're taking the chance to push in. And it seems to have worked out. Mert does take down White Eye, and trying to find out Trucky. Trucky is down. I mean, he's dead actually. He is down. I was correct. He is down.
That is correct. He is down and dead. Menox opting to stay inside the house, and as you said, I mean, I don't think they have any clue that Gax is there. You can see Menox is looking south to make sure no one's coming up the ridge line. But Gax is playing it smart. He's sitting around the side of the ridge, because I think actually 60 would be able to look all the way down through that kind of I guess it's an old creek that's dried out.
Yeah.
You can see like he would be able to look all the way down, and that is exactly the angle he's holding to try and make sure that no one's coming. But they have no idea Gax is there.
I feel like, I mean, I think he's looking there. Maybe he doesn't know, but he might have heard Gaxi sort of come up behind just slightly. So I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see.
Hear him use a booster. Hear him. This is the smallest cues. I mean, when it's so quiet on his side of the circle too, it's the smallest things can give away.
Exactly. Circle about to shift. This one, as always, can go anywhere really. Does go northeast, west. Sorry, northwest. That's the one.
Northeast, west. That's
Yes.
my favorite type circle. When they go northeast, west.
And then south as well.
South to east, west?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are also pretty interesting. Sixy, I think he is now finding himself in a situation where he was kind of looking in one direction, but now he's 360 and permanently, as you can see. He seems a little stressed. I mean, it sounds weird, but I don't think he wanted to get that circle.
Yeah, no,
Because
I agree.
I think he was very comfortable being in the position where Menox holds one direction, Sixy holds the other, but you can see him now, he's constantly spinning around because they could literally be everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes you don't really want like the perfect circle where you're in center, right?
Exactly.
Because you want to sort of take control on some kind of edge, and when you're in the center, like people kind of surround you, and it's super difficult. Miracu taking some shots down towards Menox and Sixy here. Menox trying to push right, trying to get some sort of flanking maneuver on, and this is good. Although Matredius does take down Sixy.
Oh, Matredius gets him from the high ground. Gax is still alive down south as well. BSD is yet to push into the circle. So 2 solos that could become a massive, I guess, impact us on what's about to happen here. MBS jumping for info. Mert must have heard him. Mithralius does go down. MBS might be able to get Mert down too. Flashbangs thrown forward.
I like it. Oh, there we go. MBS, there we go. 2-piece comes in, and DA goes down. Menox still alive though. He's still kind of proning towards where he wanted to flank, but now he's playing it mega passive. Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
And now it's just a 2v1, v1v1.
Doesn't really have the info to go with, trying to play aggressive. And on his side of the circle, in all fairness, there hasn't really been that much commotion. It's kind of been on the east side of the creek. All the action's been happening, and that's exactly, well, I mean, into the creek where they will have to go. And there's no water, so I know it's not a creek, but what do you call it?
The valley.
Like a dried out. I don't know. Let's put it this way: the terrain has been shaped by the water. Once in an ice age.
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly it. I just call it a valley, honestly.
Uh-oh.
A ridge.
They're running across. They do not know. They do not know that Gaxi is down there. What more fun could it be to have Gaxi nade his teammates?
That would be quite interesting. Or like a 1v2 or something. Oh, he's doing it. Miracu!
Oh, it's right on his feet! Miracle flushed out by Gaxi. NBS. This is the fight for who gets the double bed and who gets the sleeping bunk beds for Season 2.
Oh, no,
and NBS prevails.
Oh!
Could you imagine that being a tie and the BSD getting the freest win, which it will be? And he doesn't see him!
He does now.
Oh, there you go.
Right. There we go.
BSD takes down Menox. NIP takes out each other. And with 20 HP left remaining, I guess the Istanbul, we just talked about them. Istanbul Wildcats, they got 7 points on the first 6 games of Sanok. And now they just secured themselves double that in 1 game.
Yeah, it seemed like BSD was essentially solo for quite some time.
He was,
I think Enzo went down towards the sort of the top kind of 15 and then he just kind of came in. It did work out pretty well for him in terms of just like everyone kind of killed each other, then he just came in and picked up the pieces. But yeah, that's solid work for Istanbul Wildcats.
Very, very, very impressive play. And also, I mean, that's the thing, because they're in a situation where they need those points badly. They were sitting in second to last place, only, I guess you can say, surpassed by a team that hadn't played yet. I mean, that's kind of the story through Sanok, right? And the fact that they can turn things around, play passive the way they've been trying to do. I mean, that was the downfall on Sanok, essentially. They were trying to be too passive, and they just got overrun all the time. But here, different map, ups for different... Look at that nade.
It's just like perched on the perfect spot where he can't even hide from it.
That is that's unfortunate. But and that one too, bouncing through the hay bales.
Lots of good nades.
1 HP again, always 1 HP. But impressive play by Istanbul Wildcats, and as we see the replays here, a lot of impressive replays throughout the game. Essentially, I mean, impressive replays. Yeah, good job, replays. Impressive plays.
Highlights are highlights because they're highlighted because they're impressive.
I'm gonna let you have that one, and then that was pretty interesting first game. We are of course going through 6 of them on the day. That was just the first one. There's 5 more games to come, and I'm kind of now we got the circle. Okay, so for those of you guys who were watching yesterday, we had 12 games on EU and on NA throughout the Open League, and we did the math. 8 of them had the first circle go between El Pozo and Montenuevo.
Yeah.
And at some point, when we had like 3 of them in a row, I was like, it's 3 a.m. Can we please get some variation? And then this one, Pops, we get 3 really rough hardships back to back to back in that game. Thank you. Variation.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank the
Circles.
unknown Lord. Thank you.
Also, it forces the players to think differently, because as we talked about, you're in an area where we can't really use vehicles. It's very curvy as opposed to the northern, where, yes, there are hay bales in the fields, but it's pretty flat, so you can rotate with the vehicles. Here, duos as well, you don't know where people are lurking around, and some teams really kind of fought around that. MBS, Miracle, up around the northern side, that essentially gave them the second place.
Yeah, no, it's I quite like that area because as you saw in the end game there's so many ridges and dips and people can hide in there. There's interesting things that happen like with the Galaxy nade and you find a teammate like that. That could have been a really nice 1v2 and
For sure.
Things like that don't happen in any other place really, to be honest with you. So yeah, Miramar is a cool map,
especially for duos. A lot of 1v2 potential because we have all these ridge lines. There's so much, there's so many, and that's why I kind of gave BSD a little bit of a hard time on that peak against the Monkey. There was a lot of ways he could have played it different, I think. Yeah. Maybe had an easier time. He didn't end up winning the fight, but probably had it easier. But guys, that was game number 1. We're gonna go to a short break, and then we'll be back and ready with game number 2 in just a few. So stick around. We'll see you guys soon.